On this momentous occasion of Teachers' Day, we feel privileged and proud to host founder and chairman of Alma Mater School, Captain Rajiv Dhingra, on EdTalk Consulting platform. Alma Mater was established in 1988 in Bareilly and has been a beacon of excellence in education for over 3 decades and have consistently set the standards in academic achievement, holistic development, and innovative teaching practices. Welcome, sir. We are so honored to have you with us.
Thank you. Same here.
Sir, tell us about your journey from an army person to educationist.
Okay. So before the army thing, I'll take you to my schooling years. Born in a joint family of 26 people. Good old days, we had huge families. So the basic nurturing was done in the family only. That was an advantage with families like ours, and most families were like this.
Okay, sir.
And then going into a school where we saw integration of all castes and communities from various services studying together. So that was the social integration. Those were the days where the monetary implication of having a good job or bad job or poor job or something was not there. It was evolution of a being. And since we were allowed to go outside the classrooms, we evolved with certain leadership qualities that probably are there in every one of us, but today they have to be taught as to what is to be exhibited and how, which probably gave the benefit of getting selected in the armed forces through that very difficult services selection board. And post that, training was easy because we were the outdoor types, and having got commission in the forces, it was, a cherished dream, so to say, in those days, because armed forces was considered even higher than the other jobs and vocations in the country, even more cherished than the civil services, which are today at the top. And not very many people are willing to join the armed forces. However, while I was growing in my school years, in the family that I was born, I used to see as to why people are studying. And the answer was generally that they want a good job, a cushy position, so that they can look after their families. So academics, probably in the country it is so, that we are generally seeking education not for the choice of having education. We are having education so that we could compete and get into a position where we can sit and enjoy that position, because it will give me some extra money over a person who is getting a job lower than me. I was not brought up in that manner. We were allowed to blossom in a way. And all our cousins, uncles, aunts, we saw them cherish, enjoy what they were doing. And somebody was doing some business, somebody was a sports person, somebody was a manufacturer, somebody was working in the defense forces, somebody was in a bank. So the varied personas influenced. And while this was happening, I got this insight that why can't we bring up our children or nurture them in a manner that they could do what they wish to do in life, what they love doing in life. And for that, well-rounded personalities with holistic development was required. But since I was in the armed forces, all that was in the subconscious, and life has its own ways of, getting you to the right place, and certain circumstances happened in the family. And since both we brothers joined the armed forces, and we are only two in the family, so there was somebody required to be at home with the parents in their growing old age
Yes.
years. So I, being the elder, got my wife's consent, and when she said, "I am with you," came home.
Okay.
And since we came home, there was but one option, and that was getting into the field of education. And that is how Alma Mater was shown the light of the day. And it implies what our vision and mission is.
Oh,
One school, a place for all, one's mother.
yeah.
All that is the meaning of Alma Mater. And that is why this name.
Okay, sir. So, what was your vision, and how did you get the teachers who could be part of your intended vision?
Vision was plain and simple, giving holistic development, be it physical, be it academic, be it social, be it skill, everything was to be given to the blossoming child. And by blossoming, I mean you can't, plant two seeds close to each other.
True.
Both the nurturing or growing plants. Similarly, if you fill the classroom, stuff the classroom with students, you will not allow them to blossom. And if they don't blossom, they will fail in life. I must share with you that countries which are very small in size, very little population is there, they innovate as many engineers in the country. Their
Oh,
innovations are in lakhs every year. We Last month we were bragging that in the 137-year history of physics, we have only 37 medals.
yeah. True,
Is
sir.
it a point to brag or feel ashamed of? I feel ashamed. So this shame that I felt since my childhood,
Hmm.
and I have myself been able to opportunity to represent my school, the KV Sangathan, in various sporting events. I was even the Punjab University GK quiz winner,
Oh, that's very
despite,
nice.
despite being a sports person, despite being good in academics.
Yeah.
Our family never bothered to, we used to even distribute sweets if you fail, because failure gives you the strength and foundation more than anything else. And we fail every day. These failures and passes are every day.
True.
But we grow. So all these things were there in the head, that we nurture the child so that it blossoms and does one thing or something which that person's satisfaction. And then came the most difficult task, the teacher.
Teachers.
So we employed the teachers, but they same system as we grew up. We got the different opportunity, all right,
Hmm.
but their mindset was the same.
Yes.
Give them the lecture, test on questions and answers, and don't allow them to give their point of view on anything. That had to be changed. For that, the teacher had to be motivated. And one statement that I used to make to prospective teachers or who were there in the first training session, I used to tell them, teach them in a manner that when these children grow up, and become teachers of your children, they do not ruin them even further.
Yeah, that's
That was
very
that
innovative
was
way
the
of
scare
putting
I gave them. I told them literally, you have to be scared of your teaching effort. How you make them will tell how they make your children.
it. Oh,
And that did wonders.
oh,
And you know what? The only strategy that we applied other than this, the pep talk, so to say, was having lots of training sessions.
okay.
Every week we used to have training sessions, and what we used to do, we identified a talent or a quality or an ability in a teacher, and we used to tell them to prepare a curriculum for all of us. And every weekend, last working day of the school in the week, we used to have a session of that teacher. That brought bonding, and that also brought competition. That also brought the ability of other teachers who did not know they. And this ultimately went to the students. Are you able to hear me? Or
Yes,
there was
yes,
some break?
absolutely. Yes, sir.
Can I
The internet.
carry on with a cup of tea?
Yes, sir. No, that's a very innovative way of looking at a thing. I mean, futuristic view. Coming to that, I also feel these days teachers' job is has become very demanding, and they are always in a stress. So, what is your like? How do we support teachers in balancing personal and professional responsibilities?
First, let us understand who becomes a teacher today. One who has not been able to get any other job becomes a teacher as the last resort. So what do you expect institution to do for such teachers? I can share with you on the NEP, the new education policy, we were having CBSC training session for teachers. There were about 60, 70 teachers attending. And I knew the resource personnel also from before. So he from the teachers as to analyze or think where you see education in 2030. That is about 8 years from now, because NEP started in 2020, but it is being put into practice now. So another 6 years, where do you see education? People were giving their views. So I also raised my hand. So although I was not to be involved in all that discussion, I was sitting in the corner. But the resource person was kind enough to allow me to speak. So I went in front of the teachers and conveyed to them that right from the early 60s till date, I find no change in teaching. The system is same. Because as long as it is being used to get a job, you will not change. That is one. Two, I asked them to raise their hands if they have become teachers by choice. There were 3 teachers from among 60, 70 of them who raised their hands. And this is all around the world, not only in UP or Bareilly or Indore or Mau or the country, it is all over the world.
Oh,
It is just economics of
yes,
a job.
yes,
So if a teacher, our advantage, our success, we got it by the fact that most teachers retire from here.
oh.
So that is, I think that is the success of our vision and mission. That
It
teachers
speaks
also accept.
volumes about
Not
your
that,
HR policy.
and not that we are paying the highest
Hmm.
salary in the town. We are paying what the scale suggests, but there are schools who want to take teachers from other schools by offering them more.
Okay.
Our teachers do not fall prey to such things because they
That
have been nurtured here.
that speaks volumes about the environment that you are providing the teachers. It speaks a lot about them if they are
And
employed here.
yes,
And it's a popular saying, sir, that employees do not leave companies; they leave their bosses. So if the boss is good, the employee will never leave the organization.
I also share with our staff about that quotation. It says, which says, "When in Rome, do as Romans do."
Yeah.
I tell them, "When in Rome, tell Romans what to do." That
That's
is
you.
why.
You have a
That is
very
why
innovative way of.
we were we were very happy when in 2000 brought the new education policy of grade system. I was personally very happy. Our teachers were in the day boarding system. We were doing all that. For umpteen years, we have been doing this. Our report card was supposed to be a thesis book.
Oh,
Parents used to say, "Itna mota report card kaun deta hai?"
okay.
But it was like that.
Yeah.
Physical, co-curricular, academics, what any will again fail
Yes.
because it will not be implemented in letter and spirit because they do not know how to implement.
Okay.
You have to see each child every day, and tomorrow is another day. Every day is different.
Every day is different. So true, sir.
Okay, even in late 60s, we are growing. I am
True.
still involved. I still sit in my office. I have nothing to do. I run my channels. I just upload videos on academics,
Oh,
on various things of my choice. Like your company is doing, I also do the same. But I do not. I am not doing it for the, so to say, as a vocation or a profession. I am doing it as a service. That is my final service to the cause of education. So
that's
that
wonderful.
yes, that is what is there. So all this I do not know, but I think we have been very successful. We have a student who is a national innovator.
Oh, that's
He has
wonderful.
just set up an AI lab, and mind you, he passed his class 12 by compartment in one subject.
Oh,
He will probably be going on a scientific exchange program to Japan in 2025. He was to go in 2020 when he was passing out.
yes.
But because of COVID, he could not. That program was cancelled. He might go next year. We
Oh,
have a girl. We have a girl who is a national gold medalist in tennis for 3 years. DLT, she has played Sri Lanka. And we have students abroad, see, who are working as researchers outside the country. We
so
have students who are doing well in academics here, who are qualifying in various competitive exams. Everywhere they are there. I was I was on a walk evening in the school. So one of our alumni, she came out. She was coming out of the swimming pool. We have a swimming pool of the school in the school. So she just said, "Hello, exchange wishes." And I said, "What are you doing?" She said, "I'm doing this, and I'm very happy doing this. And I am also, an art instructor. I'm teaching art online to people who are interested, and it is all due to my school. To blossom, whatever they want to do. So you see the trophies that we have in the school
yeah.
everywhere. Whether it is local, whether it is state or nationals, our students are there everywhere. So and when they come back to you after many years and they say, "Sir, this is I am what I am because of this institution." So that is the real economics of the life. Nothing more is important.
True, sir. True, sir. So your
Yes.
journey has been very, inspirational. At the same time, I feel after talking to you that you are a visionary. You are a person who thinks out of box. So that's the reason why you are able to motivate and inspire so many your staff, your students, everybody, and is contributing in bringing a change in the educational sector. So we
Correct.
are actually fortunate to have people like you who are working in education to improve the system. So thank you
Yes.
so much, sir. We are very, honored, and I personally feel that this is the first time we are interacting, but I feel so privileged to talk to you. Thank
Yes.
you so much, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you
All
for
the best
having me
to
on
Alma
board.
Meta. All
Yes.
the best to Alma Meta. I hope Alma Meta gives more and more, achievers to the country.
Correct.
Thank you, sir.
Right.
Thank you so
Okay.
much.
Bye bye. Jai Hind.
Bye,
Jai
sir.
Bharat.
Jai Hind.